My name is Craig Oertwerth, and I'm a partner with Brian McChesney and the law firm McChesney and Oertwerth here in St. Louis, Missouri. Our primary areas of practice are personal injury, but of course there's subspecialties in there. We do a lot of trucking accidents, workers' compensation, wrongful death, and we also do some explosions and work like that. You always worry about making sure that you give your client the best service. You want to make sure that you're doing what you should do to give them the most zealous and hardworking representation you can. As a business owner, you're also worried about making sure that people call you and that you get new clients. It's important that you treat the clients that you have well, but also get new ones. And that's part of the reason why we use services like Martindale-Hubbell. We do primarily advertising, but primarily print media through Yellow Pages, and then online presence, which would be custom website through Martindale-Hubbell. We also do search engine optimization through Martindale-Hubbell, LexisNexis, and then Lawyers.com, sponsored results. In some of our sponsored results, I think we're listed in trucking accidents, wrongful death, and personal injury. And we also do, as method of our search engine optimization, we do those similar terms through our website, through the optimization. We're obviously spending a good deal of money every month, and we want to make sure that it's not money just spend a dollar to make a dollar back. We'd like to see a revenue stream in return for the spending that we do for our advertising. When we first opened our firm in April of 2006, we chose Martindale-Hubbell to do our custom website. We stayed with that for about 4 to 6 months, and then Martindale-Hubbell came to us and said, we have a series of items, different things that we can do search engine optimization-wise, whether it's Google changes or now that Bing has come along, the search terms have to change. They have to be more organic and be prepared for change. We try to be efficient with our advertising. I do know that some of our larger settlements have come from, for instance, Lawyers.com. We received a case that we settled for 7 figures where a lawyer out of state found us through Lawyers.com, was able to just type in personal injury, attorney St. Louis, and that's how they got us. Met with the client and were able to get a very good result. Other cases, client-driven searches, we find, again, cases that tend to be larger settlements. People don't necessarily go to print media or listen to the spoken word advertising, whether it be radio or TV, but rather go online, do a little bit more in-depth search. They like to see that you have a website, that you don't just have a run-of-the-mill one, but maybe one that kind of catches their eye and has information on it, on the various subpages. Whether it Google changes or Bing changes, you have to be ready for it. And obviously, as an attorney, that's not something I'm aware of, but Martindale-Hubbell's pretty good about letting us know, hey, here are the things we need to change, or here are the different directions, this year we need to look. And so when they make those recommendations, we tend to go along with them. The type of injury, I hate to say doesn't matter, but what I really look for in a client is an engaged client, a client who is interested not just in getting their case resolved, but getting their case resolved correctly. We're always concerned with a client who is not interested in their client, or not interested in their case. In other words, someone you can't get a hold of, someone who just cell phone is off and you never hear from them again. We've been with Martindale-Hubbell from the beginning, so we're obviously comfortable with what they provide. I don't mean to say that fine law is very different than what Martindale-Hubbell provides, but in looking at the types of items or the types of products that they provide for us, they don't tend to be as directed as we like to see. When you have a monthly budget of advertising and you're spending X dollars, you're always looking for a better return on your investment. We spend money for both on the print media, which is primarily Yellow Pages, and internet, which is Martindale-Hubbell exclusively. When we look at that, when we look at the cases that are coming to us, we're getting cases from both sources. But the larger settlements are the clients who tend to have the cases that tend to be larger in number come from the website. And we think it's a function of really 2 things. Number one, people who have a case who are perhaps more injured or have a more significant injury, I guess is more way of saying it, take more time and they research and they look on a website. And it's not just ours. And it's important that you have a website that's easy to navigate and that has your number prominently displayed. And they call. So we've just seen kind of anecdotally perhaps, cases tend to be better researched and of higher settlement value that come from the website. We are tending to focus now, particularly in 2010, more towards internet and other non-print media. People like Google or like Bing, and that's just how they research, whether it's looking for Chinese food or looking for a lawyer, not that they're the same. But that's how people tend to look at it. If a family has, whose brother is coming back from college and has a horrible accident and dies in a car accident, that family member isn't necessarily going to go to print media. They're going to take their time and they want to find a lawyer who can zealously advocate the family, can look after the entire family's interests. When somebody is researching something like that, where a family member has died or a family member is very ill, they're going to take their time, and the internet's part of that search. Somebody asked me what my business would be like if I didn't have the internet. I don't know if I could answer the question. We probably have in the neighborhood of 40 to 50 active cases that have come from the internet. So you're looking at a significant reduction in your practice. The other thing that you have is the type of cases that you're getting. Again, the cases that we get from the internet tend to be a more engaged client, tend to be a client who has a case of more significant injury. So how it would change my practice, I would say pretty significantly.